Over the last week, you've seen Vice President Biden really take part in a number of daily briefings from his campaign, whether that's in the form of a Zoom press conference with reporters or sending out his new newsletter, which his campaign just rolled out, and they're supposed to roll out a podcast as well. Vice President Biden has said he doesn't think it's necessary to have any more debates. However, you're seeing the Sanders campaign saying, look, we still want to showcase our platforms and our ideas. And there's also been a number of primaries that have been pushed way back, such as Georgia, Louisiana, New York. So even though Biden might be leading in those states, the Sanders camp is still arguing they want to be heard, and Senator Sanders should be given that opportunity. Like Vice President Biden, he's been offering a number of on-air briefings, whether it's telephone conferences or coronavirus roundtables. So you're seeing Senator Sanders continue to do that, not as much as Vice President Biden, but we know that Senator Sanders does have the platform of the Senate and what he's doing. He said his part in working on the $2 trillion stimulus package that showcased his platforms as well.
Technically speaking, the race is not over, and it's really astonishing almost how the policies that progressives have been advocating for several years now, but specifically like this movement around progressivism over the last few years has really put their agenda to fore, because it is showing a massive sort of what the cost of disinvesting in the public sector. People are really struggling, all over the world, especially after the financial crisis with austerity cuts. New York State has experienced that itself, with Andrew Cuomo right now still on TV, being hailed as, someone who has expertise in this, but he's also been cutting back our public health care for years as a governor, and cutting back on a lot of other social services. And so voters, do recognize that. And I think it's just a matter of kind of connecting the dots and saying, well, what kind of policy and what kind of candidate would be suitable in a time like this? For a lot of progressives who make up a significant amount of the Democratic Party, people who are on the left, people who are independent, who still have not decided, who there are still half the states left. New York State has hundreds of delegates left to be accounted for. And in some polls, New Yorkers are saying that they support Sanders over Biden. But even within that, if you think, technically it's possible, but it might not be probable for Sanders to win, there's still an ideological debate that's happening within the Democratic Party. And if we do not allow this arena to be able to play those issues out, we can continue with more years of the same sort of austerity cuts that Biden himself has advocated for much of his Senate career and his career as a vice president. So those ideological debates are important, even if Biden does win. People talk about pushing candidates further to the left. If there's no one else to push him except, out on the streets, but not in public, where there's a lot more to be accountable for, how do we know that he's going to implement any of it?